In HTML, there's a few characters that we can't use in our content because they're special characters. So, for instance, we can't use greater than and less than because those are how we denote the HTML code itself. So, to write an HTML less than, you need to do this. You do ampersand, LT, and then semicolon. That will actually create a less than character. To write a greater than, you do and GT semicolon. Now you'll notice that we're using the ampersand in a special way here. So now the ampersand becomes this other character that you can't write in HTML without escaping it. So to write an ampersand in your content, you do and AMP semicolon. So if I pop this open in my browser here, let's go to entities.html. You can see I've written out a less than and a greater than and an ampersand. If I wasn't to do this, if I just put a less than right here, and if I just put a greater than right here, and if I just put an ampersand right here instead, you'll notice that they kind of work, but it's not particularly reliable. So what you want to do if you need a less than symbol to show up in your content, you want to use and LT. If you want greater than, and GT, and if you want ampersand, and AMP. Now there's one more entity that I want to show you. This is the only other one that I use regularly, and it's called a non-breaking space. So as an example here, let me make a paragraph with some text in it. So in my text, I can actually put lots of space between here, like this. I'll go like this. And if I go look in my browser and refresh, you'll notice all those spaces in there that I put between lots and of, they don't exist. And in fact, HTML will collapse any space greater than 1 down to 1 space, just like that. Now, sometimes you need to group some elements together, or sometimes you need to have 2 spaces. If you just want to create space between words like this, you should be using CSS. But sometimes you want to create group 2 words together. Let me make a big long line of text here. RM, go with a medium paragraph. So I've got this here, and you'll notice if I make my browser smaller, if I make it just the right size right here, I can't actually make it happen. I'll pop open the developer tools for a second so we can maybe do it that way. Okay, right here you can see that this word and this word break. So we have just one word at the bottom of the paragraph. Let's say we wanted to keep those 2 words together so that they always stayed together, even when wrapped. And that's what the non-breaking space is for. So we can put NBSP right here, and that will create a space between these 2 words, but it's a space that cannot wrap. So if I refresh, you can see now they're totally grouped together. No matter what I do, those 2 words will always stay together. So you can use a non-breaking space to create extra space between words like this. You could put a whole bunch of NBSPs in there, but don't ever do that. That's what CSS is for. What the non-breaking space is for is to just sort of group important pieces of text together. Another location where I might use an NBSP is like right here between, you know, the number and its kilometers. So that's a good place to use NBSP because the word won't break accidentally. Or maybe when you've got a really big number like this and you have a space between the parts of the number, you'd want to use an NBSP in there, a non-breaking space, so that these 2 pieces can never break apart from each other.